Donald Trump reignited his calls for Canada to become the 51st state to avoid the
Today, he announced he will step down as the leader of the governing Liberal Party.
Migrants who were chosen by the government to come to Canada are leaving the country in record numbers.
To deal with that the U.S. doesn't need us for cars, lumber, oil, or gas, and he threw in the ask for all members of the NATO alliance to
Canada has been in the headlines for so long, it feels like forever now. From shifting immigration rules every month to the Prime Minister resigning,
I intend to resign.
it feels like Canada has seen it all in 2024, and the roller coaster ride still continues in 2025. I swear every time I call back home, I get the same set of questions from different people. Do you still have a roof over your head? Do you still have a job? How are you able to pay for your groceries? With so much uncertainty in the air, I thought it was time for me to make a video for someone who's planning to come to Canada, especially for studying. Now I've shared 3 reasons why you should still come to Canada and 1 reason why you should not. So please make sure to stick to the end. Now let's get into it. One of the biggest reasons you should still come to Canada is the amount of incredible exposure you get here, especially when it comes to your studies. Canadian universities and colleges are recognized globally for their high quality of education, and the education system over here is designed in such a way that it makes you grow both academically and professionally. What's even better, a degree from North America, especially from Canada, holds its respect worldwide. So countries across Europe, Asia, South America, and Middle East holds Canadian degrees in higher regard. So that means when you're earning your education from here, you're not just opening doors for yourself in Canada, but you're also creating opportunities globally. Now, given the current situation of the country and the forever changing immigration laws, I think it's highly advisable that you only consider top schools in your field. Now, that's because these schools don't just offer better resources and opportunities, but they also give you a higher return or investment, which makes your education worthwhile in the long run anyways. Now, for those of you planning to settle down in Canada or stay in the long run, I think it might be wise for you to reconsider for the time being. With Canada actively reducing its intake and aiming to remove certain individuals by specific deadlines, it's becoming increasingly uncertain whether you'll be allowed to stay here in the country after your studies or your work permit. Now, that said, things could change by the time you're done your studies. Policies might ease, but that's a risk that you'll have to take on your own. Make sure to do your research, weigh your options carefully, and plan accordingly. Alright, moving on, let's talk about unemployment. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things, it's definitely tough out here. Finding a part-time job here in Canada is very scarce. You have to push out so many applications and you have to tweak your resume for each one that you send out. And even then, there's no guarantee. I've seen people struggle 6 months even after landing here and still they're not able to find a means of income. To counter that, I'd highly encourage you to learn some in-demand skills such as web development, application development, being a personal assistant to someone, or maybe even video editing. There's lots to explore over there. Find out what suits the best for you and maybe practice that stuff, get the hang of it, and then maybe you could potentially be looking at becoming a freelancer. Being a freelancer means making your own hours so that you don't have to stress about part-time job hours anymore. I know it's easier said than done, but I've seen it working for so many people. So many of my friends have recently got into this freelancing thing, and they're okay. They're making a decent living out there while still studying. And it's working on your own terms as well. So I think it's an option worth considering. Lastly, let's not forget one of the major perks of coming to Canada is that this country has so much to offer. From its jaw-dropping scenic beauty to vibrant multicultural cities, there's something here for everyone. Canada is absolutely breathtaking. But it's not just about the landscapes. Canada's rich culture and diversity means that it has so much more to offer. You'll meet people from all over the world, you'll have cuisines that you've probably never had before, and you'll get to enjoy festivals from all around the world. Now, the job market and the unemployment and the immigration laws might seem daunting, but don't forget to explore and enjoy what this country has to offer. Sometimes that can make the journey worth your while. Now let's talk about why you should not come to Canada. See, if you're thinking of coming to Canada with a shorter course, especially one lasting 1 year or even less, I think it's time that you reconsider. 1 year is a very short time, and to be able to support yourself during and after the course might be tough. Now, I know people have done this in the past, but times have obviously changed and the current landscape is different. Without a solid plan or a long-term strategy, you might be struggling to make the most out of your tuition and living expenses. Plus, with a 1 year course, your chances of staying in Canada after you're done are slim. So you can pretty much forget about PR or even staying long-term here in Canada. Given the current immigration landscape, it's highly advisable that you explore options in different countries, or let's say even if you come to Canada, come with a longer program duration. So while Canada has lots to offer, it's crucial that you evaluate your plans and consider the current market challenges before making your next move. Take your time, do your research, and make an informed decision which would be aligned with your long-term goals. Thank you so much if you watched it so far. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.